Tornadoes, widespread flooding, and at least 2 million people without power. That's just a taste of what Milton has unleashed as it made landfall as a Category 3 along Florida's Gulf Coast south of Tampa Bay. This is new video of flooding in the Sarasota area near where the storm roared on shore. And while the hurricane is now weakening, the damage is far from over. Tonight, we know of at least 2 people who have died in St. Lucie County on the other side of the state, the Atlantic coast, where tornadoes touched down. The sheriff's department saying a community for seniors was completely destroyed, and officials say it appears at least 100 homes have also been seriously damaged. First responders, including federal personnel, now in position to respond as soon as conditions begin to let up. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Matt Savino with the latest on the toll that Milton has taken so far. And Matt, it is not over yet.
No, and this has been a very, very vicious storm with the tornadoes that began during the afternoon on Wednesday on the east coast of Florida, as you mentioned. Normally, tornadoes that spin up with hurricanes aren't that strong, that big, and don't last that long. This was different. They were big, they were strong, and they were long track tornadoes doing the damage that you described. And the reason for that is they still had some sun on the East Coast, yet the tropical conditions with the wind shear and the instability were all in place to allow those tornadoes to spin up the way they did. Okay, here's the current status of Milton as it moves inland now as a Category 1. Still some rain bands around Tampa Bay, but the bigger rain bands are now on the East Coast, around Daytona Beach up to Palm Coast, and then farther north. So that's where the heavy rain is right now. That's where we're going to see the most flooding. Let me show you the current track. And again, it is a Category 1. It should be off the coast by early tomorrow morning. And I think by mid-morning East Coast time tomorrow, they'll be able to get the helicopters up and be able to look and see what the damage actually looks like from the air. Now the sustained winds are down to 90 miles an hour, as I mentioned, Category 1. Still moving east-northeast about the same clip, about 15, 16 miles an hour on its path. Here's a little bit wider view for you, just for perspective. Came on shore 5:30 our time, 8:30 East Coast time, just south of Sarasota, as you mentioned there. And boy, I tell you what, the rainfall is unbelievable. I'll show you that in a second. Right now, we still have storm surge warnings on the southwest coast and the northeast coast of Florida, because that's where we'll get the onshore flow here and the onshore flow here, with the storm centered inland south of roughly Ocala or Orlando. So those warnings will continue there. Let me show you some of the numbers from Hurricane Milton so far. St. Pete at one point was getting rainfall at over 5 inches an hour. We hardly ever get 5 inches in a month. They did it in an hour there, equated to over 17 inches of rainfall from the storm so far there. 109 mile an hour gusts at Bradenton, Sarasota, gusts of 102. About 2.7 million people without power right now. So it's brutal. Inland flash flooding, even though the soil is very sandy, can absorb the rain. You get rainfall like this, there's nowhere for it to go that fast, right? The storm surge threat continues, and the power outages and flying debris remain a big, big hazard. David?
I mean, some of those totals just unbelievable. Thanks, Matt. Stay with KGW for continuing coverage of Milton. We'll bring you details on the damage left behind over the coming days, potentially weeks. And there are lots of ways to find the very latest on air online at KGW.com, on our streaming app, that is KGW Plus, or our KGW YouTube channel.
You need to come to the front door with nothing in your hands.
All new tonight, that is the sound of one of multiple rounds police say was fired by a suspect targeting their armored vehicle as authorities in Vancouver attempted to negotiate his surrender. That body cam video just released gives us a glimpse of the moments before an officer shot and killed the suspect. Alma McCarty is here to walk us through how it all unfolded. Alma?
Yeah, David, a warning for viewers. Some of the video from the early morning of September 27th may be disturbing, and this all began when neighbors say the armed and intoxicated suspect threatened neighbors, slashed their tires, and fired shots into the air.
On Northeast 71st Street in Clark County's Walnut Grove area, Vancouver police joined deputies around 11 p.m. on September 26th to handle a situation with an armed man. Drone video shows the suspect with multiple firearms, including a high-powered rifle. One of 2 investigators say he used to shoot at other neighbors and at officers.
You are under arrest. You need to come to the front door with nothing in your hands.
Video from body-worn cameras shows rounds striking the outside of the armored vehicle, shaking up the 6 officers inside it.
Fired. Yep, he's shooting at us.
You guys are all right. You're all right. He still got his gun pointed at us.
The crisis negotiator continues, working to convince the suspect to safely surrender.
Come to the front door with nothing in your hand. Show us that you don't want to hurt anybody out here. Show us that you can be safe. Okay, that's the front window's going.
Despite hours-long efforts to de-escalate the situation, investigators say SWAT saw the suspect just after 2:30 in the morning at the sliding door with a rifle and what appeared to be a ballistic helmet and a gas mask. A Vancouver police officer on the force for 5 years and working with SWAT fired a shot, hitting the suspect in the neck.
He went down. He's down in a three-side slider.
The suspect, later named as 56-year-old Michael Williams, died at the scene. Officers say they used the drone to clear the home, finding boxes of ammo, rifles, and handguns in a bedroom upstairs. That includes a scoped rifle on a shooting tripod pointed out a window.
Now, the officer who shot and killed Williams was placed on critical incident leave. The investigation and review of the shooting now being led by the Cowlitz County Sheriff's Office. David, back to you.
Thanks, Alma. Appreciate you walking us through that video. Well, also in Vancouver, Clark County Sheriff's deputies are investigating a homicide after a senior was found dead in her home. Catherine Cook spoke with the victim's family tonight. Catherine?
David, I want to warn viewers, this is another really upsetting case. Family members tell us the victim is 78 years old. They believe her murder is connected to a home break-in the day before.
She meant the world to me.
Stephanie Ayersman is overcome with grief. She says her mom, 78-year-old Patricia Jimmerfield, was murdered in her Vancouver home Tuesday night in the Lakeshore neighborhood. She was concerned when she couldn't reach her.
I called my aunt who lives in town to come over to the house because something was wrong. And she found her dead.
Stephanie says her mom, a great-grandmother and retired nurse, had been beaten and strangled. Stephanie, who would do this?
I don't know. It feels personal.
And Stephanie has her suspicions after learning someone had burglarized her mom's home on Monday, the day before the murder. She says her mom texted her Tuesday morning, writing, "Extremely stressed out, bank fraud, etc. We'll call later." It was the last time she heard from her.
They broke in twice. Once Monday night and stole her wallet and then charged up her cards. And then last night when they killed her.
Clark County Sheriff's officials aren't sharing details about the case, but confirm they're investigating a homicide at the home near Northwest 99th Street and 26th Avenue.
You wouldn't expect this to happen here.
Dan and his wife Amanda live nearby.
It's a great neighborhood. Really nice, kind of quiet and calm, easygoing.
Both are at a loss.
No, not around here. And sure enough, I find out just 20 minutes ago.
For loved ones, this will never seem real.
If anybody knows anything, if anyone saw anything, please call the police department. I want to know who killed my mom.
In Vancouver, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
A couple heavy but important stories there. Thanks for bearing with us. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines, smoke billowed into the air in northeast Portland's Montavilla neighborhood after a detached garage caught on fire. This is on northeast Gleason near 100th around 4:30 this afternoon. Portland Fire says the flames came close to an apartment complex. One neighbor we talked with believes squatters were living in that garage.
It's frustrating. I'm angry because this could have been avoided, and we knew it was going to happen, and nothing was done.
No one was hurt. The fire was out within an hour. A North Portland marijuana shop employee who police say shot and killed 2 robbery suspects has now been charged with murder. Portland police say 34-year-old Jason Steiner fatally shot 2 of 3 men last Thursday at La Mota in the St. John's neighborhood following an armed robbery. Police also identified the victims as 18-year-old King Lawrence and 20-year-old Tahir Burley, both of Milwaukee. And Portland police say they were able to track down a stolen puppy after a parent of one of the teenagers involved in the alleged dog napping called them. 9-week-old Fireball was stolen from her cage at the Oregon Humane Society Tuesday night, with one of the suspects caught on camera. That was Monday night. She was found last night. She is okay and unharmed, though not yet available for adoption. No word yet on any charges. Straight ahead at 11, a KGW investigation into a new twist on imposter schemes targeting local seniors and extorting them for tens of thousands of dollars. Plus, planting roots in order to thrive. Details on the program bringing up the next generation of local farmers. Stay with us.